All right, here we go. So this is my 68 Camaro. I've had it for about 20 years, give or take. Beautiful car. A lot of custom things on it. One thing that I've always wanted to do, though, is have a nice custom console. You can get a little sneak peek there. I have a 5th gen Camaro console in there, and it did the trick for a little while, but it never quite matched up perfectly in areas that I wanted it to. So I looked at other consoles online, and some of them were outrageously expensive. Others just didn't quite, look the way I wanted, so I decided to just dig into it myself. There you go. That's the original 5th gen. So I went to Classic Truck Consoles. I'll show you here exactly what I got. So scroll down. You'll see Camaro. You can click on that. And then you will see, scroll down some more, get some representations of consoles. You have to get more specific. I got the Rally console. So click on that. Scroll down. All right, there it is. A lot of measurements, so that's nice. I was able to get in there and kind of figure out if this was actually going to work for me. You can see a lot of representations of what other people have done with them. You actually have two pieces. You have that lower piece and this one that I actually ordered too. So two separate pieces. This would be like the dash bezel. This flattens everything out. That way you have a stereo. It's nice and flat. So here we go. Mocking it up. Cut some holes for the shifter and where I wanted the stereo. Kind of mocking up the stereo here. I wanted it nice and flat, so it had to kind of come out at the bottom. So I'm kind of trying to envision that. I'm attaching some small, just 1/8-inch board here on the sides so that the lower console on the sides actually meets up with the upper bezel there. So now I got some 1/2-inch PVC sheet. So I cut this in the shape I wanted it to be. And it needed to be kind of molded inward, so I'm applying heat here. And this is the first time doing this. I was actually pretty excited watching this happen. It was neat to see it kind of take shape. So there you go. You can see how it's kind of bent in. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. A lot of heat. Just making sure it's going to clear everything. Looks good. All right. So now, on the bottom, the lower part of the console, I needed to bend this in to the shape of the console. So here I am applying heat. And I actually used those fasteners you see that are holding it on. I used what are called well nuts. They're actually used for boats a lot of times. They're really neat the way they work. So there you go, heating it up, pressing it in, holding it with some clamps. Looking good. Got a good shape to it already. All right, so I cut the hole for the digital dash that's going to go above the stereo there. And so now I'm using good old cardboard. I'm going to find out exactly what shape I need for the face of the console on the bottom, and also the shape I need for the bezel. There we go. That's actually going to be a really thin piece of sheet metal. Super thin. Picked it up at Home Depot. So you can see I cut my holes. I did some shaping. It's looking good. That'll be the face of the bezel. And you'll see what I'm going to do with these things later on here. So here's some 1/4-inch white PVC sheet. So you can see it's flat as a board. But I've got to mold this thing. So here we are, applying heat again. 1/4-inch is so much easier to bend than that 1/2-inch. So clamping it. As soon as this stuff cools down, it retains its shape really well. So same thing here. It's an awesome process to see happen. Good old dumbbell, holding that down in place. It's looking good. Clamps everywhere. A couple of fasteners. Starting to take some shape here. So there This back part here where the armrest is going to be, those are actually separate panels of 1/2-inch PVC. And so I'm kind of holding those in place. You can see this lip. Actually, here I am using a sander ever so slightly, sanding and then pulling this bezel back. I needed it to match up with the lower console just perfectly. I wanted it to look like it was just one piece going from the lower console to the bezel. It looks good right there. Awesome. You can see I already cut an oval shape for my shifter hole. That'll pretty much stay like that throughout here. So there we go. Got my side panels on, got them shaped. Look at that thing. I had no idea how much more time I was going to spend working on this. So I got the cup holder holes cut out, mocked up some switches there. All right, so took these panels off, and I am getting ready to drop them off at a hydro dip place. Oh, before that, I did some testing. That is 3/8-inch plexiglass underneath. You'll see more of that later. So these are ready to send off to hydro dip, and they match up so beautifully. So a lot of work to get those like that, but not too bad. All right, here it is at the hydro dip. Getting a good primer on it. There we go. Beautiful carbon fiber. I've already kind of got that theme going on in the car, so that's what I decided to do. Looks good. All right, beauty panels. These will be on the sides, and I just had to imagine, how am I going to do these? So made a piece that just mirrored my side panels, and then I just started drawing some lines. Drawing lines, and then I cut it. So really all I did is make a big puzzle. So now I'm just kind of seeing, okay, if I have all these in separate pieces, how can I make them look good? Well, break out the router. I'm going to be using a 45-degree chamfer bit. And it's going to give these some awesome style. Check that out. So now they all match up again, but they've got that nice chamfer on them. Here we go. Just mocking it all up. All right. Put it in the car. Let's see how everything's lining up. All the angles where it meets up with the dash. Looks good. Here's my lid. Trying to figure out exactly, you can see my fasteners there, holding those on. I wanted this thing to be able to be taken apart if I ever need to service anything, but I didn't want to put fasteners everywhere. So the idea is to put them in just enough areas to keep it, pleasing to the eye. So you can see this dog bone shape that I'm kind of doing my lid. Really trying to envision that. So what I'm doing here is I'm making kind of like a template. The shape of this. I'm going to have a three-dimensional piece that's going to go on top of this lid. And the center of that piece is just the right size for like a really big iPhone. That's going to be able to sit in there without sliding off. Look at that. Same thing. Got a 45-degree chamfer on there. Matching them up. They look good. Got that shape, retaining that dog bone shape. All right. Merry Christmas. All right. Mocking everything back up again, looking at it, trying to envision what I want to do next. So there's the lid. I'm going to do something really cool in the center there. Oh, yes. My panels, I put them on. It really made everything like just completely transform. Kind of gives you that motivation to keep going, So looks so good. Great transitions from the lower console to the bezel. Cup holders look good. Look at that plexiglass. Got some edge lighting going on. Upholstery time. All right. So just doing some black, leather grain for the side panels there. Wrapping these, some were easier than others. This one was tough. This one has some tough spots on it. But YouTube tutorials helped out a lot. All right. There we go. All the side beauty panels are wrapped. And they look good.
All right. It is. It's getting there.
So, looking it over again. You can see that lip on the sides there. That half-inch PVC. I'm trying to imagine what color is going to go with this black. And I'm thinking silver. Okay. So I kind of have a silver theme on the car anyway with my super sport stripes. I figured that black on silver would pop really well. So
it just follows those edges. Nice and clean.
Yeah.
Carbon fiber.
Oh, look at that.
Dipping.
That looks so good.
On that.
All right, that's enough. Let's get back to work.
This is what I'm working on next.
Got a lot left to do.
Let's see here.
Couldn't help myself. Just have to look at the lights again. There we go. Look at those cup holders. I cut the bottoms out of those cup holders and
crazy.
Kind of made a groove for them to fit in the top of some plexiglass and lit up amazing. Looks really good.
So what I plan to do is in the center of this.
All right. I am about to do what I was thinking would be cool. I am going to embed
so that way whenever we lay a phone
charger
here,
there.
Automatically starts charging.
But it needs to sit flush. So I got this carbon fiber sheet that is just the right thickness. And I had to imagine, okay, if this sheet was on top of a piece of vinyl, you know, how high would it be?
Thickness.
Okay.
There you go.
And then I got that charger and I mashed the two up. Perfect. Perfectly flush with each other.
So I have a plan with that.
Now we can move on. I'm going to have to cut some funky groove in this in order to get the power cord to plug in but not be visible. So I did some rabbiting with the rabbiting bit here. That way I could get that carbon fiber sheet to sit in there nice and flat. Deciding which bit to go with, I went with the one on the right, I think. Nope, I went with the one on the left. I did. I wanted a flatter groove underneath. I needed a flatter groove in order for that power cord to fit. So here we go. Had to find that perfect depth. And I'm not kidding. I was shaving as much of that carbon fiber sheet as I could because I needed all the clearance I could get. There we go. Look at that. Whew. I mean, it was so close to breaking through, but it worked. So here we go. Drilled a hole for the cord to go through the top of the lid. All right, placing it where I want it. I'm gonna lay this sheet down on there and it just clicks right in. Look at that. Perfect. Line it up. Put this top portion on. Looks good. Getting it to all snap into place. There we go. Look at that. The cord is hidden. Beautiful. You can see that cord's coming out there. I'm gonna try and hide that as good as I can. Hey, magic upholstered. Look at that. Got the silver on it. Looks good. Test time. Let's try this out. Boom. Beautiful. All right. Perfect. Look at that thing. Very nice. Good. I was curious how that lid would turn out. All right, so shout out to Mobile Solutions. This is their Smart Ruler XL. And this thing is amazing for cutting grooves and getting the perfect spacing and nice and straight, like straight lines. I mean, this thing was awesome. They're not that cheap, but they're worth their weight in gold. So you can see me cutting the grooves. This is on the 1/2-inch PVC sheet that are my side panels. There you go. That is going to be in the background. Those grooves, look at that. So nice. That'll get upholstered with that silver and it will pop. What am I doing? Oh, okay. So kind of getting an idea what it's going to look like. Those grooves hidden behind there. Man, I'm excited here because I'm like, just a really neat design. And those grooves, those angles of those grooves actually match the angles of the upholstery on my door panels. I really wanted to go with a theme on the inside of the car that flowed. So you'll see later how those grooves match up with the same angle of the upholstery on my door panels. It's good, getting ready to upholster. Oh man, beautiful. Look at that. So nice. Got the lighting going on, silver all the way across. And a lot of this isn't going to be seen because you'll have your seats there, you know, they'll be kind of hiding it. Beautiful. This contrast of the silver on black or black on silver, I was concerned, like, would it work? Would it flow? Would it not look, you know, would it look tacky? I think it works. I think it works. I got to remind myself that this center console is going in the car, and it gets, you know, it's dark inside of an interior of the car. So this, I mean, everything you're seeing here is just in bright light, you know, so I think that looks good though. We're getting so close to being able to put this in. Man. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. So I'm going to be putting this in the car, and this is the fun part. Electrical. No fun, but if you do it right, it turns out looking good, working good. All right, you can see I had to do some modification here. My foot was tight there. So that was a quickie, but you got to see a carbon fiber panel that I put there. Man, look at this. This looks amazing. I mean, seats are in, all lit up. That is it. You can see the angles, matching the angles on the door panels. There we go. Now I'll be moving on to the trunk enclosure, and we'll see how that turns out. Man, this is way different than what I had in there before, that 5th gen console. I mean, this thing is so custom. They're like party mode there. Look at that. Look at those lights. Look at that. That was a lot of hours of work there. Many, many hours. Let's see the before picture here. We'll do the before and after, and we'll wrap it up. Man. Looks good. Very nice. Built, not bought. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in more videos like this, you can like and subscribe. There you go. Before and after. Thanks for watching.